Tell me about yourself. Just see how I'm answering this. My name is Rahul, and I have total 2 year experience in a manual testing, a 2 year experience as a software test engineer, in which the major part is the manual testing, where I was validating the application, the GUI part, as well as the middle layer validation, that is the API testing, and also we are validating the database. So majorly I have done these things, and then I have the 6 months experience of the REST assured automation by using the Java. So in my current project, the major part, if I say that that is the front end GUI testing, that is a functional testing, but yes, that comes once the all the business logic is validated, because the front end development was a little bit takes time, because some UI designer getting changed time to time. So the middle layer validation, that is the API testing, we are API files we are getting from the developer, as well as the API document, and we validate that API, that it is it working as per the requirement or not. So for validating the API, I was also validating that database, that if we are sending any request, or if we are creating any data into the resource, that is database, so we are validating that proper data, that correct data is that whatever the data we are sending, that data is going to land on the proper table, proper column or not. So this is one thing we are validating for the API, as well as from the API validation, that is response code is also important for us. Then the what are the response it is giving the database, we are also validating those things. So in the this is what we are validating in the API testing. And also we are writing the API test cases for whatever the API we are getting for which particular method. So this is about the API testing, which we are also in the API testing, we are using basically the Postman tool. And once the GUI part is integrated, then we are also validating the front end. And for front end, we have already written the test cases, and we are validating that all the requirements should meet as per the whatever the application is developed by the developer. So this is all about my 2 years testing experience. And yes, around 5 to 6 months, I have also automated some REST assured automation APIs. And I'm just a new learner, but I have not developed any kind of framework, but I was able to working in a automation team from last 6 months. So still that is I am learning that API automation frameworks and all the things. But as my role as a REST assured automation developer, I'm writing the script for the all the methods. We have the framework kind of thing, like routes, test file, test, the URI, where we are passing the methods for all the things, and we are using the Java for that. This is tell me about yourself. Now tell me about your project. So currently I'm working on the e-commerce application. So this e-commerce application is basically developed for the South African South Africa country, where they are selling the multiple products. It is not only the electronics or books or anything. They are selling the multiple products, and this is a little bit different from other e-commerce application, that they have also developed the nearby stores from if the customer doesn't want to pay the courier charges and all the things, then they can collect from their stores, where the seller uh, drops their parcel on their nearby stores, nearby center, And from that center is also managed by the e-commerce company. From that center, that user can buyer can collect the product if they are not interested to pay the delivery charge. As well as this platform also provides a seller where the seller can if there is a let's say one buyer, there is a one buyer, and the buyer generates a 100 or 10 or 20 or 100 orders from their nearby locality. So if they are placing that such kind of order, then they will also get extra discount. So this discount is also getting calculated from the our side, and this is the whole process for the e-commerce application. And we are writing the test cases for that one. Manual test cases we are writing for that one. Test case execution, and we are using the Jira tool for logging the bug. For the test cases part, we are not using Jira to manage the test cases. We are writing test cases in the Excel sheet. And whatever the bug we are identifying, we are mentioning that bug into the Jira. And yes, and tagging that bug with the user story. Yes, we are working on the agile methodology, and this is we are following the agile scrum. So whatever the user story is there, and we found any bug in that particular user story at the time of test case execution written for that particular user story, so we tag the defect with that particular user story. So these are the process we are following in our project. In this project, I have also tested, as I told earlier, for the API or REST assured API automation. Now, what are the agile ceremonies, and what was your role in the agile all the ceremonies? Or have you involved in any agile ceremonies? Yes, I am involved in all the agile ceremonies. There are basically four agile ceremonies. The first one is the sprint planning, where we plan that whatever the user story we have to complete in this particular sprint. So in the agile sprint planning, we are doing that thing, and developer as per their estimation, they provide the weightage for the user story. We are also providing weightage for the user story as a testing for the testing point of view, that how much effort it will take to complete the testing. And basically, we all the development team are involved in this sprint planning phase. The second one is a Scrum meeting, that where this Scrum meeting is done every day, and that is around 15 minutes, where we discuss about whatever we have completed yesterday and today, what I am going to do. And if this task is completed by mid of the day, then what I am going to do after that. So in Scrum meeting, we are discussing only about these things. And as a development team member, I also participate, and every day I provide my status to the whole team that I'm going to do this task. Yesterday, I finished that task. As well as we also discuss sometimes that if we are facing some challenges, so we also discuss those things and we ask help for other team members if they can if they can assist me to complete the task. Then the third ceremony is the sprint review. Once the user story is tested by us, since we are working as a tester in the development team, so whatever the user story is delivered to us for the testing purpose from the developer, we execute our test cases. And if all the test cases are passed, so we inform our Scrum Master that yes, this user story is validated. So a Scrum Master takes a time from the product owners, and as a tester, my role is to give the review, give the demonstration of the developed user story. So I also do the demonstration for the developed user story to the product owner or business analyst who are the product owner specifically. Sometimes business analyst also comes. If everything goes okay, so we ask we send the mail to the product owner, this user story or all the and including all the stakeholders that this user story is demonstrated this particular day. There is no major feedback received from the product owner. So we request the product owner to mark that user story as done. If there is any failure during the testing activity, so we ask developer to first fix this user defect, whatever we have raised for in the Jira. We ask developer to fix the bug, and again we retested, and if everything goes well, then again it goes for the sprint review purpose. Now, after that, the fourth one is the sprint retrospective, where we are doing this is also a one kind of meeting where we all the development team, product owner, and the scrum master were involved, where we discuss that what went right and what went wrong in this particular sprint. If everything goes well, then also we do this meeting. And we are discussing that how we can improve our performance, or we can take more and more user story to complete in that particular sprint. If anything goes wrong, then obviously anonymously we put that these things are we need this kind of support, and the scrum master take initiative to provide those things. Those he addresses our issues and provides us the support. So this is the mainly for sprint scrum ceremonies. And in all the ceremonies, I participated. I actively participated because we are working in the development team, and this we have to attend. This we have to participate. Now, how you design test conditions? So basically, we are designing the test condition based on the requirement. That what the data in the test condition, if I say that okay, if I need to perform or complete this activity, or let's suppose an example that if I want to buy one product from the Flipkart or any e-commerce application, then first I have to select the product, then I have to see the price, then I have to move that product to the cart, then I have to move that product to the buy section, where we can mm, make the payment, and then the product should be delivered display in the order page. It should display that product is under ship. So or and order should be generated. So these test conditions we are verifying after reviewing the requirement. Now sometimes also for the testing the test conditions, we need some data. And one of the major challenge that we face that to find the positive test data. So what we do that as a tester, what I am following, that I'm writing the SQL queries to find the positive test data, and this SQL query has some joins as well, because there are multiple tables, and all the tables are taking care of different set of data. So I write the SQL query, and then we find the I find the positive set of data. I execute those things, and if everything goes well, then our positive scenario is passed. For negative scenario, I just tweak one data from the positive test data set, and if it is failed, then of course our testing is in right direction. So this way we identify the test condition and the test data for testing our given requirement. Have you involved in creating the test data for effective test case execution? Yes, I do involve to identify the test data as because test data plays a crucial part to test the any requirement. So for uh, finding positive test data, I'm using the database because we have the authority for the select query. So we write the select query. I write the select query to find the positive set of test data. So once we get the positive set of test data, I execute with that data. And if everything goes well, so my positive scenario is passed. And once I start tweaking the one data from that positive test data, and I should get the proper error message in that case. So I validated that one, and this helps me a lot of this helps me to save a lot of time to execute my test cases. Have you involved reviewing the test case prepared by peers? Yes, I do. I also review the test cases reviewed written by the peers. For that purpose, yes, I have to put some extra effort because I have to understand that user story as well. So I also go through the user story and I make points that because our user story is very crisp, everything is written clearly, given then when kind of things are written. So after going through the user story, I understand that what are the requirement is saying and what are the conditions, and based on that, I review the test cases written by the peers. But yes, I do review the peers test cases, and for that purpose, I go through whatever the user story is assigned to them. Have you involved in performing smoke testing, or what is smoke testing, functional testing? So the smoke testing is we can say that the first level of testing where we are getting the build from the developer and to going deep level of testing, or you can say that functional testing, proper functional testing, we just make sure that whatever the build is developed, is it testable or not? Is the all the requirement is captured, or all the requirement, all the user story, whatever in the that particular user story, all the features are captured in that particular build or not? So for that, I do the smoke testing, and it is a kind of cursory testing since we are working in Agile and we are getting the user story. So one user story has a limited features, let's say 5 or 7 features. So it is very easy to complete the smoke testing. And in the earliest stage, we can identify if any feature is not developed. So we can ask the developer that this build is not testable. So we return that build. Now, in the functional testing, if everything goes well in the smoke testing, then I go for the functional testing where we execute our test cases written for that particular user story. And we are working in Agile, and we are writing test cases for the user story. So for one user story, it is not more than 20 or 30, 20 or maximum it goes to the 30 test cases. So we are executing all those 30 test cases. So, okay. Are you also doing regression testing for Agile? Yes, we do have the regression test cases, but that is not in all the sprints, because in every sprint, every sprints we are focusing on the user story and test cases written for that particular user story. But after every 6 sprint, we have one sprint for complete regression, and in that sprint we are doing the regression testing. Whatever the bug is identified in the regression testing activity, we assign that bug to developer, then retesting and all the things is going on that particular sprint. So every after 6 sprint, this is decided by the client, or you can say that a scrum master and the product owner. But we are doing this thing that every after 6 sprint we are doing the regression and retesting, so that till the developed feature, everything should working fine, must be working fine. So now the question will come again, then what is your release cycle? So from the testing point of view, from the our team side, our development team point of view, our release cycle is every sprint. But the client decides that when that delivered feature will live on the production, and that I don't have any idea. What is STLC? STLC is a software testing life cycle, and in this life cycle, there are basically the 5 phases where we can say that the first phase is the requirement analysis, where we go through the requirement. But this is we are basically for this is now the STLC. We are not following in the agile methodology, but as per my um, training, whatever I have received during my organizational training. So I'm explaining here that in this STLC there are basically 5 phases. The first one is the requirement analysis. The second phase is test planning. The third one is the test designing. And the fourth one is test execution, and fifth one is the test closure. Okay, so what is the test plan? So test plan is a it's a one document which explains that or which guides the testing team that what we need to test, what we should not test, or the feature should be tested. If the feature should not be tested, what is the entry criteria, what is the exit criteria, what is the pass and fail criteria, what is the suspension resumption criteria, then what scheduling part, then training required or not. These things are captured in the test plan document, and this is prepared by the some senior person. So, okay, so there is no team lead in your project? No, we don't have any team lead because I am working in Agile, and in Agile there is no such kind of hierarchy in our project. We are working with the we all are known as a development team, but yes, there are some senior tester who helps us, but there is no such kind of team lead or kind of thing in our project. So whom you report in Agile? No, I don't report anyone. Every day there is a Scrum meeting, so we just provide our status to the whole team that what I have done yesterday and what I'm going to do today. So there is a no reporting kind of mechanism here, but yes, we do provide the status to our team, and Scrum Master sometimes also Scrum Master also present in the team, but if required, then of course sometimes he also asks me, not in that particular meeting, but individually, Scrum Master sometimes asks the from the development team that what is the status and all the things. So we do and that is not an official meeting or official things, but on the team chat, uh, sometimes he asks me that on which feature you are working, or is there any problem you are facing, then you can discuss with me one to one, like kind of thing. But yes, there is a no, I'm not reporting to anyone as in our project.